There's a brother named D.L. Hughley.
Yep.
And until he take accountability, I won't let it go.
What?
Because
the saga surrounding Shannon Sharpe, the NFL Hall of Famer turned media titan, has spiraled into a spectacle that rivals the most dramatic tabloid headlines. What began as a series of allegations has mushroomed into a full-blown crisis, threatening to dismantle Sharpe's carefully crafted empire. From a $50 million lawsuit to leaked audio clips, celebrity feuds, and whispers of past missteps, the controversy is a tangled web of accusations, power dynamics, and public reckoning. As the story unfolds, it's clear that Sharpe's troubles are not just a personal failing, but a case study in how fame, ego, and unchecked ambition can unravel even the most formidable legacies. Let's dive into the chaos, peeling back the layers to understand how Sharpe found himself at the center of this storm and what it means for his future. At the heart of the scandal is a lawsuit filed against Sharpe, accusing him of rape. The allegations, lodged by a young woman, claim that their relationship turned toxic and volatile, culminating in 2 instances of assault. The severity of the accusations alone would be enough to shake any public figure, but the fallout has been amplified by the scale of Sharpe's prominence. His multi-million-dollar podcast empire, his high-profile ESPN gig, and his revered status as a football legend are all on the line. The lawsuit, seeking $50 million in damages, has sent shockwaves through the industry, with networks and sponsors scrambling to distance themselves from the controversy. For a man who has built his brand on charisma and relatability, the optics are nothing short of catastrophic. Adding fuel to the fire is a leaked audio clip that has become a public relations nightmare. In the recording, Sharpe is allegedly heard making threatening remarks, including a chilling line, "If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke the expletive out of you." Whether taken out of context or not, the clip has gone viral, circulating on social media and fueling speculation about Sharpe's character. The audio has become a lightning rod, with critics seizing on it as evidence of a darker side to the media star. For Sharpe's team, it's a crisis that no amount of spin can easily defuse. The clip has not only intensified scrutiny of the lawsuit, but also cast a shadow over Sharpe's entire career, prompting many to question whether this is an isolated incident or part of a broader pattern. Sharpe's history with controversy is not new, and this latest scandal has brought past incidents back into the spotlight. Over the years, Sharpe has been dogged by whispers about his personal life, particularly his relationships with women. One notable example is his admission on his podcast that he once paid for a married woman's divorce because he believed she was the one. At the time, the anecdote was played for laughs, but in the current climate, it raises questions about his judgment and boundaries. Similarly, an infamous Instagram live mishap, where followers inadvertently overheard a private moment, became a viral embarrassment that Sharpe struggled to live down. These incidents, once dismissed as quirks of his larger-than-life personality, are now being re-examined as evidence of a troubling pattern. The resurfacing of past allegations has only deepened the crisis. In 2010, a woman filed a temporary restraining order against Sharpe, accusing him of sexual assault. Though the order was dismissed, the allegations lingered, casting a shadow over his career. More recently, a production assistant at FS1 accused Sharpe of inappropriate behavior, leading to a settlement that was quietly swept under the rug. While settlements are not admissions of guilt, they carry the weight of ambiguity, leaving room for speculation. The details of these cases remain murky, but their reemergence has fueled a narrative that Sharpe's charm and charisma may mask a more troubling reality. Amid the legal and media storm, Sharpe's professional relationships are beginning to fray. ESPN, where Sharpe has been a cornerstone of shows like First Take, is reportedly reevaluating its association with him. Stephen A. Smith, Sharpe's colleague and a vocal supporter, has expressed personal loyalty but acknowledged the uncomfortable reality. Disney, ESPN's parent company, is wary of the negative publicity. "Disney doesn't want this kind of heat," Smith said, a statement that underscores the precariousness of Sharpe's position. Meanwhile, a reported $100 million podcast deal, which would have cemented Sharpe's status as a media mogul, is now in jeopardy. Sponsors are pulling back, and even Sharpe's luxury cognac brand is facing challenges as distributors reconsider their ties to a figure mired in scandal. The silence from Sharpe's inner circle is equally telling. Once surrounded by athletes, celebrities, and influencers who eagerly align themselves with his star power, Sharpe now finds himself increasingly isolated. The absence of public support from these high-profile connections speaks volumes about the fragility of loyalty in the world of celebrity. Even Sharpe's closest confidants and business partners are reportedly backing away, unwilling to be associated with the whirlwind of negative press. For a man who has thrived on being the alpha in every room, this erosion of support is a stark reminder of how quickly the tides can turn. Sharpe's response to the crisis has been notably subdued. In a statement, he announced that he is temporarily stepping away from ESPN to focus on his family and fight the allegations. For a man known for his unfiltered commentary, this retreat feels like a calculated move to stem the bleeding. However, in the court of public opinion, silence can be as damning as a misstep. Every day that Sharpe remains quiet, the narrative is shaped without his input, and the headlines grow more unforgiving. The longer he stays out of the spotlight, the harder it will be to reclaim his voice and rebuild his tarnished brand. The scandal has also drawn sharp criticism from prominent figures in the entertainment world, most notably comedian Mo'Nique. Known for her unfiltered truth-telling, Mo'Nique has been relentless in her critique of Sharpe, using her stand-up routines to call out his behavior with a ferocity that has left audiences roaring and Sharpe reeling. During one performance, she eviscerated him, warning him about the pitfalls of his lifestyle and poking fun at his preference for younger women. "You don't need no 26-year-old, she quipped. "Get you an older gal. She'll make you some turkey wings and rub your feet." The crowd ate it up, but Sharpe felt betrayed, especially since Mo'Nique had previously offered similar advice during an appearance on his podcast. Her words, once dismissed as playful jabs, now carry the weight of prophecy, as Sharpe's troubles seem to echo the very warnings she issued. Comedian Cat Williams has also entered the fray, adding another layer of intrigue to the saga. During an explosive appearance on Sharpe's podcast earlier this year, Williams threw shade at a host of industry figures, from Kevin Hart to Steve Harvey. But it was his cryptic remarks about the darker side of Hollywood that raised eyebrows. "Some folks be wanting to party," Williams said, leaving just enough unsaid to spark speculation. Months later, as unrelated allegations against other high-profile figures began to surface, Williams' comments took on an eerie prescience. Was he hinting at something bigger or simply stirring the pot? Either way, his words have added fuel to the fire, amplifying the sense that Sharpe's troubles are part of a larger reckoning within the industry. The racial dynamics of the scandal have also come under scrutiny, particularly Sharpe's preference for dating younger, non-black women. Critics within the black community, including Dr. Umar Johnson, have called out the cultural and social implications of Sharpe's choices, questioning why a man of his stature would engage in relationships that invite such scrutiny. Johnson pointedly asked why Sharpe would involve himself with someone who refused to sign a non-disclosure agreement, a decision that has now left him vulnerable to public exposure. The debate has sparked broader conversations about race, power, and identity, with Sharpe's actions being viewed through the lens of a larger narrative about black men in the public eye. While his defenders argue that he is being unfairly targeted, his detractors see this as a long overdue reckoning for a man who has repeatedly courted controversy. The financial stakes are equally daunting. Sharpe's reported net worth, built on his NFL career, media ventures, and entrepreneurial endeavors, is substantial but not invulnerable. The $50 million lawsuit, combined with the potential loss of the $100 million podcast deal, threatens to erode his financial empire. Even if Sharpe prevails in court, the damage to his reputation could be irreversible. Companies prioritize public perception over legal outcomes, and right now, Sharpe's name is synonymous with scandal. The leaked audio, resurfaced allegations, and relentless media coverage have created a perfect storm that could sink his career. Sharpe's larger-than-life personality, once his greatest asset, may have contributed to his downfall. Former colleagues describe him as a domineering presence, someone who thrives on being the alpha in every room. This unrelenting need to perform, even in his private life, may have blinded him to the warning signs that were right in front of him. One source described Sharpe as always on, unable to turn off the persona that has made him a star. This relentless drive, while key to his success, has left little room for genuine connections, resulting in a pattern of superficial relationships that inevitably sour.